Number 3, fill in the blanks to make each number sentence true. Draw a number line, a tape diagram, or an area model to represent each problem. Then draw a number bond showing your sum or difference. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to write a number sentence. We already have a number sentence here. So now we just need to solve this number sentence and then draw a model to show our sum or our difference. Now I know because both of these fractions have like units or common denominators, I don't need to change them. I can just go ahead and add my numerator. So I'm adding 5 plus 6, which gives me 11. And my denominator stays the same. My pieces in my whole are not changing, they're staying the same. So if we add 5 twelfths plus 6 twelfths, that gives us 11 twelfths. So I've completed my number sentence. Now I need to draw a model. Because I love tape diagrams so much, I'm gonna go ahead and draw 2 of them. Here's 1. Here's 2, because you never know, you might need another one. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw 12 equal pieces. I'm gonna cut it in half first. I know that each half has to be 6 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do the same thing with this one, just in case. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 12 equal pieces, and now I need to color in 11 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, we also have to draw a number bond showing our sum or difference. This is my sum. So this is the number I'm using in my number bond. So I'm gonna start up here. And in my top number, I have 11 twelfths because that is my sum. Now I need to decompose 11 twelfths. You can do this in lots of different ways. One way is to just use the numbers from your number sentence. So I can do 5 twelfths and 6 twelfths, because if I add up these two numbers, they will equal 11 twelfths. Now, for B, we have to subtract. We are going to subtract 53 hundredths minus 27 hundredths. Now, I am not going to draw any kind of model with 100 different pieces in it because that would take me a really, really long time. So what I'm gonna do is I know that I can go ahead and subtract because both of my units are the same. I have common denominators. So I'm gonna go ahead and subtract 53 minus 27. For me, that's easier. If you drew a model or a different way, that's always okay. Now, I know I cannot take 7 away from 3, so I need to borrow. Take 4, carry the 1. 7 minus 13 is, I like to count up, so I'm gonna do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so that's 6. 4 minus 2 equals 2. So I know I have 26 pieces left. So I'm gonna carry that 26 over here, and my denominator hasn't changed. We're just carrying it over, it stays the same. So this is my difference, the answer to my subtraction problem right here. This is my difference. So this is the number I'm going to use in my number bond. So we're gonna create our number bond. And the top, we're gonna put 26 hundredths because that's the answer to, the answer to our subtraction problem. You cannot just move these numbers over here because remember, in a number bond, you're adding these two together to equal this. If I add 53 plus 27, it will not give me 26. It will give me a much higher number. So we need to break apart 26 pieces out of 100. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna break it up in half because I know that 13 is half of 26. And you could do this in any different way you want as long as both of these numbers add up to equal the total in your number bond, okay? Number 4, our first word problem, Mrs. Skelton's favorite. Okay, let's read it together. Jake and Amy spent 1/6 of their money on water, 4/6 of their money on lunch, and the rest on candy. What fraction of their money was spent on candy? Draw a model and write an equation to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a model. And I know I'm going to put 6 equal pieces in my whole because each fraction here is out of 6. So I'm going to draw my fraction or my model in half, and then I know I need 3 pieces in each side, like this. And because I love color so much, I'm going to color code my model. So I know that Amy is going to be orange, and she spent 1/6 of the money on water. So I'm going to color in 1/6 orange because that's Amy. And then we have, we'll say this is Jake. He spent 4/6 of their money on lunch. So I need to color in 4/6. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the question says, what fraction of their money was spent on candy? So it says the rest of their money was spent on candy. So we know they spent 1/6 on water, 1/6, and they spent 4/6 on lunch. And so what is left over? This is 1 piece left over out of 6. So we know that they spent 1/6 of their money on candy. Now you could have also drawn a number line or another model if that's what you prefer, it doesn't matter, but you should have come up with the same answer. And remember, you always need to write a sentence to explain your answer in a word problem. If you just write 1/6, that doesn't tell me anything about your answer. 1/6 of a pizza, 1/6 of a computer, 1/6 of an eyeball. Remember, tell us what you're talking about. So here's my model. I've color coded it, and here is my number or my sentence. Now, I need to draw an equation also to solve this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write, I know that I had 6 pieces total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we spent, so we took away 1/6 on water, and then they spent or took away 4/6 on lunch. And so what is left over? 1/6. This is my number sentence to show this equation. All right, last one, B. Let's read it together. Ray, Robin, and Freddie each had identical pizzas. Identical means the same. Ray ate 3/8 of his pizza. Robin ate 6/8 of his pizza. And Freddie ate 7/8 of his pizza. How many total pieces did they eat? Okay, now, as always, I'm gonna draw a model first. Now I know that each of their pizzas is out of 8 because the fractions tell me that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a couple models. Now I don't know how many whole pieces they ate. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna draw 3 because I'm not sure. But notice how all my whole pieces are the same size. They're not different. If they're different sizes, you cannot compare, you cannot add, you cannot subtract. So make sure they're the same. Now, I need to divide each of my whole pieces into 8. So I'm gonna divide this into 4 first because that's easiest for me, and then divide each 4th in half, which will give me 8ths. So there's 1 whole, divide it into 4ths, divide into 8ths. There's 2 wholes, and remember, they're the same, so they shouldn't be in different places. And this is my 3rd whole, divide it into 8ths also. And now I'm gonna color code because that's my favorite. Okay, so Ray is gonna be green, and he ate 3/8 of his pizza. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in 1, 2, 3/8 of Ray's pizza. Okay, we'll make Robin orange, and he ate 6/8. So we're gonna color in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And last, we have Freddie. We'll make him yellow. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. And he ate 7/8 of his pizza. So we need to color in 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the question asks, how many total pizzas did they eat? Now we can look at this model and we know that this is 1 whole, and we know that this is 1 whole also. So we can see with our model that together these 3 boys ate 2 whole pizzas. So I'm gonna write this as a sentence. Ray, Robin, and Freddie ate 2 whole pizzas. You could have also said that they ate 16/8 of a pizza, because if we count up how many pieces we have shaded, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out of each whole, there are 8 pieces. So we have 16 shaded, 8 pieces in each whole. Either answer is correct. Now, if you wanted to write a number sentence for this word problem, you could have written 3/8, because that's how much Ray ate, 6/8 for Robin, and 7/8 for Freddie, and added these together, and you still would have gotten 16/8, okay? Now notice, our denominator is not changing. That's how many pieces in our whole. There's 8 pieces of pizza in each pizza. This is how many each person ate, okay? Now, you guys can take these answers and go back and make corrections. Please make sure that your whole pieces are the same sizes. I noticed lots of models with different size whole pieces. Make sure your wholes are the same. If they're not, you need to correct it and redraw. If you have any questions, make sure to send us a message. You guys are rock stars. Keep up the awesome work.